Greetings, Mavericks and new viewers. Tonight, direct and live from the Maverick News Network World Studios. This is Maverick News with Rick Walker.
Hello, everybody. I'm finally here, starting just a little late tonight. Sorry, just some things behind the scenes here, delaying our program just a bit, but we made it. We're live, and good to be here. All kinds of things to talk about this evening. I saw in the chat, just to address this right off the top, I saw in the chat somebody's not happy. Let's see if I can. Oh man. Maybe it's over here. It is here. Okay. Somebody is not happy. They're not going to join us tonight. And now I've got audio in my head. Okay. Sorry. Audio playing in my headphones from another source. And that was the other thing. I had somebody on the phone. Actually, John said, why do you wear those headphones? Like, because I need to hear the audio because I'm producing. If anybody's wondering, I never thought about it. Maybe people are wondering why I wear these headphones. It's so that I can hear clips in my headphones, so I can produce while we're on the air, while we're running the show. I'm producing the program while I'm talking to you. And sometimes I'm queuing up clips at the same time, and I need to hear everything going on. That's why it's for production purposes. And so I can hear guests, so I can hear you, so I can hear the clips as we're running the stuff. So that's why. And then tonight, and I kind of get it. Norf is in the chat saying, unfortunately, as you can read, if you're in the chat, openly public, it says, unfortunately, I will not be joining this evening due to the cat and dog nonsense that supposedly is still a hot topic. The only reason it is because you feed into it. Hi, Cosmo. Well, I don't control what's in the news. I'm like, and I'd say sorry, but what am I supposed to do? I think it's all kind of ridiculous too, but it's in the news. That's what we talk about here. Whatever is in the news, that's what we talk about. I just try to cover the top stories of the day and bring you the information. This is still in the news cycle. It's the same as if a politician gives a speech and has very important things to say, maybe even making a big announcement, and we have something like that today. But then a protester shows up and throws an egg sandwich at the politician. That's what makes the headline. I can't help it. That's just human nature. This is the stuff that came out of the debate. On the surface, it seems just absurd. And yet, it's not absurd. It is ridiculous, but it isn't ridiculous. It's ridiculous because it's ridiculous, but it isn't ridiculous to cover it because it's a campaign strategy. I see indications that the Harris camp sort of corralled Trump into it. He walked into a trap. It's now being used to highlight the immigration issue on both sides in a way that allows the Democrats to frame it as though the cat and dog eating portion of that issue is race. I'll get into this in the program. It's not, it's necessary to cover it because there are many layers to it. And maybe I'll layer that out tonight for you so that we have a better understanding of what is really going on. It isn't just silliness and it isn't just a distraction. It's politics is what it is in 2024. And it's complex. It's complex and it's simple. Depends on how deep you want to dig, but it goes deep. I'll explain why I'm covering it, lays all of that out. So I'll explain. What else do we have tonight? Long-range missiles targeting, being approved for Ukraine to launch against Russia. Should we be worried about it? Maybe you want to comment. I'll leave the phones kind of open tonight so that you guys can call in if you would like to. There hasn't been a lot of activity on the phones of late, but we'll see where that goes. Call, don't call, whatever. We'll see. What else do we have? There's the stupid dog and cat thing. It's just dominating. Yeah. And censorship issue, Russian disinformation issue. We have an update on the Kingston, Ontario man who has been charged in connection with the stabbings at the homeless encampment. So we'll bring you up to date on that and just other stuff as well. I'm not sure how long the program will go tonight. We'll just play it by ear and see how she goes. But we do have stuff to share with you. So stay tuned, fasten your seatbelts, and get ready for the ride. Here we go.
He's a fighter. He's a survivor. President Trump, defiant, strong. He is determined to make America great again. Pay tribute to the 45th President of the United States with this collectible t-shirt from the Maverick News Memorable Moments collection. Even a would-be assassin's bullet could not stop him. Instead, he emerged with his fist in the air ready to fight. For freedom. Get your Trump Fighting for Freedom t-shirt with any donation of $30 or more to Maverick News. There are 2 iconic artistic designs to choose from. But there is only one way to get these. Donate at freedomreporters.com. Support free speech. Free media. Support Maverick News. Call 1-866-248-1490 or order online at supergeeks.tv.
Someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism.
Well, I think it's time we ask ourselves if we still know the freedoms that were intended for us by the Founding Fathers. If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth.
The entire world is watching.
Every dictator, every crazy dictator in the world is watching. The world is watching. On TV,
the entire world is watching.
On social media.
But the entire world is watching, and yes, they are seeing what we have apparently bravely been willing to say that others are thinking.
Stand for freedom. Literally stand for freedom. Let's get this done. The entire world is watching.
We're at war with the most dangerous enemy that has ever faced mankind in his long climb from the swamp to the stars.
Maverick News. Maverick News. Maverick News.
Let me have more control of my own destiny.
The world is watching.
Okay. So, dogs and cats, cats and dogs. Should we lead with that tonight? I don't know. I don't know. Choosy says, Rick, did you think about Pope Clement the 14th t-shirts in time for his October 31st birthday? No, I haven't thought about that. Not at all. Never crossed my mind, actually. Is that important? You got to fill me in. You got to fill me in on that one. Tell you what, why don't you call the show and explain it to me at some point during the evening. I'll put the phone number up, Choosy, because I don't know what the heck that is, to be honest. Like, I don't understand why that's relevant or important. So I need someone to explain it to me and educate me. What else is in the chat? Let's start with the chat. How about that? Jesse LeBlanc says, tonight sponsored by Onions, many layers deep. Yes. And Alicia says, see the guy going with the goose by the neck. The mayor is a liar. Obviously talking about Springfield, Ohio, which brings us back to the cats and dogs and the geese. No goose, no feline, no canine is safe. And Christina says, yes, it is, Rick. We have so much happening in Canada, such nonsense. This dog and cat stuff. Whatever. Well, if that's what people want to talk about, that's what they want to talk. What do you want me to do? I can't help it. The U.S. presidential election is a huge story, and this is dominating the headlines. It's in the news cycle, and I'm going to talk about it because it's important. So I guess we're here. I mean, look, what are you talking about in the chat? The dog and the cat story and the goose by the neck and this is what it is. Choosy says, I need to spend more time digging into Pope Clement the 14th, but just not right now. We know enough. Okay. Well, whenever you're ready, you can fill me in. So, look, the dog and the cat thing. It is important in this for this reason. Because what's the real issue behind all of it? Immigration. That's what was at the heart of the matter during the debate. Came up, but Trump walked right into it. Now, is it a trap? It was kind of a trap. They saw him coming a mile away. They were ready for it. That's why the moderator said, we reached out to officials in Springfield, and they said there were no credible reports of this happening. They reached out because they anticipated him talking about it. They didn't mention it. He mentioned it first, but they knew he would because they kind of guided the conversation. And then they knew this was in social media. Somehow they anticipated that he was going to talk about it, and they were ready for him. Kamala Harris, ready. This whole thing has been orchestrated from the beginning with the insertion of the word weird into their campaign. Their campaign. They as soon as Harris was announced as the candidate, they rolled out that word, weird. This is one of their main focuses, right? They're trying to portray Trump and the MAGA movement as weird. This plays into it. This is what they were waiting for. She was waiting for it. She was really prepared for that debate. And then he just walked right into it, started talking about the cats and the dogs, and she just laughs, smiles and laughs, mocks him, says, talk about extreme. This is politics. You might think it's just silly, But that was a historic moment. That bit from the debate will be played over and over and over and over again for decades. Decades to come. That is a historic milestone moment in American history, American political history. That will play. People will remember that. Like it or not, that's the reality of it. And the Harris campaign is using it as a tool, as a weapon against Trump. It isn't just about the cats and the dogs, and maybe you don't like it because maybe you're a Trump supporter and you feel like it hurts him. I wouldn't be so quick to come to that conclusion. I wouldn't, because they're fighting back. That's why I put the thumbnail up that I put up tonight with the little cat. Here, let me show it to you again. It's clever. This is great. I mean, it's a heck of a fight. I said they're fighting like cats and dogs because they are. And it's very interesting politics. This is like marketing, interactive marketing in real time, gauging public opinion and figuring out ways to deal with attacks, political attacks that are personal smears, not even just personal, but they're smearing the entire movement as weird. And they're fighting back with stuff like this. So that's a cat that I took from one of the posts that was on Truth Social from Trump. Let me see if I can find it for you. It's important because what they're doing here is, see, they're fighting this election not so much on issues, but on emotion. That's how you get people to respond to things, is through emotion. If you want to sit there and give people a bunch of statistics or talk about history or get into the nitty-gritty of foreign policy or talk about economics, short of, just laying it out in very simple terms, which is to say, have you noticed everything at the grocery store is really expensive these days? That's because X political opponent doesn't know how to manage the economy and they don't care about you. They're out to screw you. That's the message, right? That you always hear. So, but if you want to talk about the economy and talk about supply and demand curves and blah, 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 you're going to lose people. So you appeal to people on an emotional level. That guy's a weirdo. Don't vote for him. It just deteriorates into that level, right? So you don't want to come out and say he's a weirdo. You say that's weird, and that way you can smear your opponent with sort of a personal attack without getting too personal. You let them set themselves up as appearing to be weird. That's the political strategy, and man, has it worked, at least so far. Yeah, here it is here. Here it is on Truth Social. But this is how the Trump campaign is fighting back, is with this stuff. First of all, they're saying, well, it's true. You're saying it's not true, that it's a conspiracy theory, that there's nobody eating cats and dogs in Springfield, Ohio, and specifically the allegation is that it's Haitian migrants who are doing this. And we showed you the video the other night of the woman being arrested, and she was kneeling down in front of a dead cat. And then witnesses there said she had eaten the cat, or had been eating the cat. They told the police officer that. The police officer then takes her picture, tells her to smile. Now, I've seen social media posts say that she had fur in her teeth. I didn't see fur in her teeth, but you see how it just escalates all of the silliness? And yet it's not silly because it's so serious. We're talking about an election for the President of the United States of America, theoretically the most powerful nation on earth, or maybe the second most powerful, depending on what you want to believe. I would say the most powerful. I didn't see fur in the woman's teeth. I did see her kneeling down in front of a dead cat. She said she didn't eat it. The witnesses, the kids there, told the cops she had been eating it. And Joseph Leonard on the program, he's done some research. He's found media reports, other media reports, talking about incidents, not thousands of incidents, but some, verifying accounts of migrants eating dogs and cats and pets and geese from the local park. And the Trump campaign is fighting back with this. Kamala hates me. All right. So what's true? I think what Joseph is conveying to us is probably pretty accurate. Perspective, proportion, context, it all matters in something like this. Was Trump just making stuff up, or was he buying into a conspiracy theory? Nah, not really. There is evidence. We showed you the evidence. We've shown it to you multiple times on the program. I don't necessarily need to run it here again tonight, but there are accounts of this, reports to authorities, police. Now, maybe even after it happens and they file police reports on it, investigators, police, city officials, whatever, they choose to discount it, say, oh, no, it's not really true. Other people think that it is. Sometimes you can have two realities simply because of how people interpret it or choose what to believe. But now it's like it's turned into a thing. So now it's a campaign thing. Now it's Kamala doesn't care about the cats and the dogs, right? Kamala hates me, the cute little kitty cat. On the other side, Trump is supposed to be weird. This is politics. And I have to say, it is entertaining. I think it makes me laugh, and yet it makes me cringe at the same time. I wish we weren't talking about this, but this is what politics has become. Here we are deciding who's going to be in the White House, therefore who it is that's going to be there making these world-changing decisions on wars, the economy, education, healthcare, every aspect of your life. Not just your life, but everybody else's life, all the way around the world. And what are we talking about? Whether or not migrants in Springfield, Ohio, are eating the cats and the dogs. That's not my fault. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but that ain't my fault. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just doing my job here. Norfa, please forgive me. Okay? I can't help it. I can't help it if the world's gone weird. It sure went weird a few years ago during the pandemic, and we've just never come back. Okay? We're in Weirdsville. What can I say? And that's worldwide. But I just have to kind of go with it now, right? And it's like, okay, that's really weird. I'll have to accept it. Don't let them eat us. Vote for Trump. Okay? I mean, come on. This is entertaining. This is beautiful. And Cosmo, he's worried. my puppy dog, he's very worried about this stuff, and maybe we all should be. See, Trump loves the animals. But maybe not so much Kamala. At least that's what the Trump camp wants you to think. He loves the geeses and he loves the kittens. I'm allergic to cats, so I can't do that. I can't snuggle up to them like that, because if I do, my eyes will get all itchy. Yeah, see, here he is. This is why you need to vote for Donald Trump, because he will save the cats. Kamala will abandon them. She will just leave them to be eaten. You see, by the invading hordes of immigrants. It's just too much. And I have to say that the videos some of them are really, really, really good. They're really well done. These AI generated videos with the cats and the weapons. Oh, that stuff. Let me see if I can find it. I didn't even queue that stuff up, but it's some of it's pretty good, man. I'm sure you've seen some of it. Heck, I produced one myself. We ran it last night. I'll run it for you again. Why don't I do that while I queue up these other ones? How about that? It was entertaining. And then I saw today somebody else. I made a song, and this is a Maverick multimedia original. I hope you enjoy it. So somebody else came out with one today. They must have stolen my idea.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats. I am the president. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. I am the president. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. I am the president. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. I am the president. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. And this is what's happening in our country. They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. I am the president. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. I am the president. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
It's funny. It's funny. It is, and it's creepy at the same time, cringy. Look, again, man, it's not my fault. Not my fault. Not my fault that I'm going to show you all this stuff either. Not my fault. Okay? Look. Some of this stuff is brilliant. You know, this guy here, I did a song. Now this guy goes and does a song. Everybody has to do a song now. A song about the cats and the dogs. This guy, I think his is better than mine because he added more of a personal touch to it, and he's got harmonies. He's really good. I like this one. It's really good. Look.
Springfield, they're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
Yeah.
They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
People that live
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
People of Springfield, please don't eat my cats. Why would you do that? Eat something else. People of Springfield, please don't eat my dog.
Please don't.
Here's a catalog of other things to eat.
They're eating the dogs.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
They're eating the cats.
Meow, 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 meow.
They're eating the pets of the people that live there. They're eating the dogs.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
They're eating the cats.
Meow, 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 meow.
They're eating the pets of the people that live there. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
They're eating the cats.
Meow, 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 meow.
They're eating the pets of the people that live there. They're eating the dogs.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
They're eating the cats.
Meow, 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 meow.
They're eating the pets of the people that live there. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country.
Oh man, that poor puppy. He looks so sad and scared. Here, check this one out. Okay. Look, I mean, I'm swearing, North. I can't help it. Like this is the top news of the day. And I hate to use the word, okay, because the Harris campaign has been using it, but it is weird. All of this is weird. I don't mean that Trump is weird or that Trump campaign is. I mean, just this whole all of this whole conversation is weird. I don't care which side you're looking at it from. It's weird. It's just freaking weird. Cats for Trump. This is like zombies chasing the zombie horde, chasing Trump to eat the cat, eat the poor cat, and he's saving it. It's just the zombies. Come on, man! Like you have to admit that's funny. That's pretty good. I like it. It's so absurd. Okay, well, I wasn't going to run it, but here we go. This is the confirmation that this is what it all started. This is what started it all.
What did you do?
This is the video.
Why'd you kill the cat? Smile for me. Smile, look at you. Go like this. Did you eat that cat? Did you eat it? No, why'd you kill it? Did you guys see all this?
No, we pulled up and she was just laying there with it.
Did you see her eating it?
Eating it.
She was eating it?
Yeah, she was.
You call the Humane Society to see if they'll come pick this cat up. It's deceased. What did you do?
Okay.
Why'd you kill the cat?
And there's she's
Smile
with the
for
cat
me.
right there. So, like, is Trump crazy? No, I don't think he's crazy. This is a thing. It's just, and look, and this is the caption on this Twitter post says, "Nobody has done more for the cat community than Donald Trump." Like, it's just, I mean, this is just too much. Here, let's continue with this Twitter scroll. Trump 2024 cats. Oh, it looked like we have another one. We have another song.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country. They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country. They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country. Cat dog, dog, cat dog. They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country. Cat dog, dog, cat dog. They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country.
Just, I don't do drugs. Did somebody put something in my drink? What has happened to the world? That was like a psychedelic trip. I don't know. I don't know. It's freaking weird. A woman arrested for allegedly killing cat, eating it in front of neighbors. By Gray News staff. It was August 20th. Alexis Taliaferro is charged with injuring animals, prohibitions concerning companion animals, and disorderly conduct. Stark County Jail. Alexis. Let's see if we can find out more about Alexis. Alexis Taliaferro. I'm just going to Google Alexis. See what we get. Alexis Taliaferro. Let's. I'll show you this on the fly while I search. This is investigative journalism in real time. This is why I earn the small bucks. Who is Alexis Taliaferro? Ohio woman behind viral video. This was 4 days ago. Somebody beat me to the punch. All right, this is the Times of India. Let's see what they say. Haitians eating pets row. Who is Alexis Taliaferro? Ohio woman behind viral animal cruelty case. 27-year-old from Canton, Ohio. She was arrested for allegedly killing and eating a cat. The incident has caused public outrage and fueled an unusual online trend involving Donald Trump memes. Right-wing social media accounts, and it stops there. Alexis, Donald Trump memes. Charged with animal cruelty, including injuring animals, prohibitions concerning companion animals. Farrell's bond set at $100,000. The case has generated significant media attention and public outcry. Right-wing social media accounts, this is where it picks up, have bizarrely linked Farrell's actions to unfounded claims about illegal Haitian migrants consuming pets and wild birds in Springfield, Ohio. This connection has led to the creation of AI-generated memes depicting Donald Trump holding cats and ducks, reflecting the surreal nature of the situation. Political responses. In response to the controversy, Trump's campaign issued a statement that read, "President Trump will deport migrants who eat pets." What? Okay. Kamala Harris will send them to your town next. Make your choice, America. This statement highlights the campaign's use of sensationalist narratives to rally support. J.D. Vance, Trump's running mate and Ohio senator, also reacted to the situation. Months ago, I raised the issue of Haitian illegal immigrants draining social services and generally causing chaos all over Springfield, Ohio, Vance tweeted. He continued, reports now show that people have had their pets abducted and eaten by people who shouldn't be in this country. Farrell remains in custody as her case progresses through the legal system. The unusual combination of a disturbing criminal case and viral political memes continues to draw significant attention and debate. Who would have thought that this lady right here, Alexis Taliaferro, would end up at the center of this political storm? But here we are. Is it news? Yeah, it's news. I wish maybe we should just not cover the news anymore. Maybe we should do other things. What can I say? I just don't know, man. So that's who she is. That's what's going on. It's not my fault. The world has gone insane. All right. But hey, pretty good memes. Entertaining stuff. What is that? And okay, and this right here, this is the stuff that then gets you into the area where Trump's opponents are going to start accusing him of being racist. And that's exactly what's going on. That's also why this is an important story to cover, because that is exactly what is happening. Okay? Because here, look, this is NBC. This is NBC tonight. And they're latching on to the racist narrative as part of the dog and cat story. Look, here it is. Before Trump, neo-Nazis pushed false claims about Haitians as part of hate campaign. It says an extremist group that marched in Springfield, Ohio, and demonized Haitian immigrants saw Trump's mention of baseless rumors at the debate as a victory. This is what real power looks like. Let's just take a look at the story.
Fallout over one of the most talked about moments of the debate.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in, they're eating the cats.
Former President Trump spreading unfounded claims that members of the growing Haitian population in Springfield, Ohio, are abusing pets. City officials say there's no evidence of that. Mr. Trump's running mate, Senator J.D. Vance, first spread the baseless accusations on social media earlier this week.
And I have to stop there for a moment because Joseph said that he did find that at least one city official or some prominent politician did come out and said the opposite, that they do have reports of people eating pets. But anyway, conflicting reports. So he was digging into that story more than I, and you are being bombarded with information on this from all sides. I don't know what the truth is anymore on this. I'm just giving you as much information as I can. And if we throw some spaghetti at the wall, maybe some of it will stick.
When I questioned him about it in the debate spin room, he doubled
Senator
down.
Vance, what do you say to Haitian Americans and Haitian immigrants who say spreading false claims about them put their lives at risk?
Well, I don't think that no one has spread false claims. What they've said is that a small migrant community has caused a lot of problems.
Springfield city manager said there's no evidence that immigrants are eating.
Did you see that? Animals. They edited that clip. They clipped something out of that. Just saying. You can see that there's a jump cut there, 2 jump cuts. And I'm not sure that maybe if that was I don't know. I'd want to see the longer version of that.
That just means the city manager, I think, isn't fully in touch with what's going on the ground there.
City officials say the rumors may have begun with an unrelated case in another part of Ohio, where a U.S. citizen was arrested for a gruesome incident involving a cat.
You understand?
On the ground in Springfield.
Okay, so they're saying that woman, Alexis Taliaferro, is that incident didn't even happen in Springfield. Okay. So there's a little piece of information I wasn't aware of.
We found deep tensions.
It's just to meet discrimination and xenophobia and bigotry and racism.
And there may be some truth to that. Let's just face the facts there too, okay? I think that there is an element of that in play here, where people are afraid of people who are not like themselves, and there is some bigotry out there, and I think that, some people, this is all being, there's an element of that. I don't think there's any question.
Seville runs a community center for Haitians.
They just believe that their words have no impact, and it's not true. So immigrants in Springfield, especially Haitians, they are so concerned for their lives and the lives of their kids.
In the last few years, officials say as many as 15,000 Haitians legally in the U.S. have moved to the city, which had about 60,000 residents before. City leaders had advertised newly created manufacturing jobs and Springfield's affordability. But some, like Bill Monaghan, say Springfield suffered from the change.
Oh, it's been disastrous.
What's your response to Haitian immigrants who say they're coming here to revitalize Springfield?
That's not what's happening for Springfield. I mean, it might happen for them. It might happen for the landlords that are enriching themselves, the city manager who's trying to pad his budget.
In a city meeting last night, the parents of 11-year-old Aiden Clark spoke.
And see, it's about immigration, the impact that it's having on the community, And as soon as you start going down the immigration road, this is where it goes. You have some people who are trying to talk about issues like housing, social services. Other people are bigoted and will approach it from that perspective. Then you get the other people on the other side who say that, who call out the people who are racist, and then but then they'll smear all the people who say anything about the issue as being racist, and then we just spiral into a really, really bad place very quickly where people can't even talk to each other. And that is also why it's important to talk about this, because this is a very serious issue. Immigration is a serious issue. It's front and center with this presidential election, and it's the cat and dog eating thing is right now at the center of all of it.
Aiden was killed in a school bus crash last year. After a jury found a Haitian immigrant guilty of vehicular homicide, tensions escalated.
I said to Aiden that I would try to make a difference in his honor. This is it.
Tonight, they're urging politicians and others to stop using their son's death to spread hate.
Do you know that one of the worst feelings in the world is to not be able to protect your child? Even worse, we can't even protect his memory when he's gone. Please stop the hate.
Yemi Shalsendor, NBC News, Springfield, Ohio.
Polaris Dawn's.
Yeah, we'll stop that. So, again, man, like, I'm just bringing you the information. These are the different perspectives. This is an issue that gets people jacked up. And let's face it, even the people who don't want me to cover the story are emotional about it. They're even emotional on that level tonight. That's how emotional this issue is. The day, it says here, the day after the presidential debate in which former President Donald Trump spread a false story, I don't know if it's entirely false, though, about Haitian immigrants eating pets in Springfield, Ohio, Christopher Pohlhaus, leader of the national neo-Nazi group Blood Tribe, took to his Telegram channel to take credit. Pohlhaus, a Marine-turned-tattoo artist known as Hammer, to his hundreds of followers, "Hey, Hammer," wrote Blood Tribe had pushed Springfield into the public consciousness. Members of his hate group, it says here, agreed, quote, "The president is talking about it now," a member wrote on Gab, a Twitter-like service popular with extremists. This is what power, real power looks like, is the quote. I see. Well, I want to deal in real stuff and real information and facts and, you know, that's what I want. I want the truth. I don't want a bunch of propaganda and crap and emotionally fueled stuff. And I don't want to, and I don't like the racism either. So we have to face up to that too. There is an element of that here. But you see, that's the political weapon, isn't it? That's what they're really trying to do here, is they're trying to say that Trump and Vance and the whole MAGA movement is potentially racist by saying that the pets are being eaten. And Trump walked right into it. That's what's at the heart of this. Let's just call it out like it is. That's what it's about. It's not really about the cats and the dogs. It's about immigration and accusations of racism and bigotry, and maybe even political extremism, so that Kamala Harris can sort of call it out without actually using the N-word. And I ain't talking, not that N-word, the other N-word. She doesn't want to use it, but that's what she's thinking. And on the other side, the Trump campaign is like, they're also using this as an issue. And whenever anything like this becomes political, truth becomes elusive, because it's like war. The first casualty of war is truth. So too is the case with politics. Don't shoot the messenger. just covering the news.
He's a fighter. He's a survivor. President Trump, defiant, strong. He is determined to make America great again. Pay tribute to the 45th President of the United States with this collectible t-shirt from the Maverick News Memorable Moments collection. Even a would-be assassin's bullet could not stop him. Instead, he emerged with his fist in the air ready to fight. For freedom. Get your Trump Fighting for Freedom t-shirt with any donation of $30 or more to Maverick News. There are 2 iconic artistic designs to choose from. But there is only one way to get these. Donate at freedomreporters.com. Support free speech. Free media. Support Maverick News. Call 1-866-248-1490 or order online at supergeeks.tv.
And Not Laws too says Donald Trump, Proud Boys, stand down, stand by. He did say that. I took note of that a long time ago too. He said what he said because he didn't want to piss them off. Right? He wants their vote. That's truth. And he said, Not Laws 2 goes on and says, no, the truth is quite clear. People who are falling for a narrative that Haitian people are eating cats and dogs have the brains of a child and are indoctrinated. Yeah, and I think, again, perspective, context, these things are important, especially in a story like this. Do I believe that there's just this widespread problem of Haitian immigrants stealing people's cats and dogs and eating them? No, I don't think it's that widespread. I think what you have here is maybe one incident, maybe a couple of something like that going on, reports of animal abuse, and potentially some crazy people who have done something. I don't know. That video is what it is. The woman said she didn't do it. But it looked like she did kill the cat. Maybe. I don't know. She's charged. The charges are real. So again, it's like, yeah, it happened. Does it rise to the level where we should be talking about this within the context of the presidential election? No. But then there too is like, why is Trump talking about it? Why did he talk? I would never have talked about that in that debate, but there it was. Well, why is he talking about it? Does he really believe it, or is the campaign just using it, exaggerating? Vance had used it prior to that, so in interviews. So they're using it too. Let's face it. And so I challenge both sides. Not that they're going to listen to me because I'm not dialed in over there with the Trump or Harris campaigns on a level where they're going to respond to what I'm going to say, but I would challenge both sides. Bring the receipts. Let's see the stats. Let's get the perspective on this. Does this really justify what you've done? Does it justify the comments that you've made? Does it justify your efforts to get people jacked up emotionally? And that goes for Harris, too, who, has used this to mock Trump. Let's face it. And the moderators. I mean, they knew this was coming. But I guess it's all fair in politics. This is all fair. But yeah, I appreciate your comments there, Not Laws 2. She was born in the USA and she wasn't Haitian. Who are they talking about? Kamala? Is that what this is? No offense, he says. Yeah, no, I don't know if you're talking to me. No offense, Matt. Taken, nothing. No, everything's cool with you. And is this like a birther conspiracy thing flying around now about Kamala? Yeah, I think, yeah, she's a U.S. citizen. So, born in the U.S. She did go to high school in Canada, in Montreal. but U.S. citizen. It's just that her parents were moving around. She ended up in Montreal with her mom, living there for a while when she was a teenager. Talking about the video. Debbie, you are the one talking about it. Yeah, I'm talking about it because everybody's talking about it. It's in the news. Anyway, I'm just about done. Anybody else have anything else they want to say about this? No, whatever. It's just the strangest, weirdest thing. I'll go over to Rumble here and look in the chat. There's Dragon. Dragon, what's Dragon saying? He says, I loved the one with Trump holding a gun with cats behind. Yeah. Oh, man. The Stoic teacher says, false lies, she said. I don't know what that means. And Linda says, hey, isn't Springfield the home of The Simpsons? Is that true? I'm not a big Simpsons person, but I know The Simpsons are at the center of everything. I think she's right. What is the hometown of The Simpsons? I think it is Springfield. Oh, my God. Get out of town. Get out of Springfield. What the heck is that? Now it's way weird. Now it's just way weird. This is The Simpsons predicts everything that's going to happen before it happens. It's like not just tomorrow's news today. It's like next decade's news a decade later. Like it just, that's insane. Linda, I hadn't even thought of that until just now. That's not just weird. That is bizarre and super creepy. And then you think, am I justified in talking about it now? This is one of the weirdest stories ever. The dog and cat eating story from Springfield, Ohio, now possibly having major impact on who the next president of the United States is going to be, which will impact every human being on this planet. Every single human being on the planet. Whoever gets into that White House, it will determine the direction of the most powerful nation on earth. Don't sit there and tell me that isn't news. That's news. Springfield, Ohio, home of The Simpsons. I am completely freaked out.
Maverick News. The world is watching.
Join the conversation. Call 1-833-975-3733. That's 1-833-975. Free. Speak up. Speak out. Make your voice heard. Maverick News. Fighting for freedom by defending your right to free speech. Be a Maverick. Join us.
Let's just go back to the chat here for a moment. Okay, so it never dawned on me, the Springfield thing, but yeah. And so Notlas2 says the right has gotten to the point where their rhetoric is just outright lies. They make the stupid stupider and the crazy crazier. Says, I really don't like how their rhetoric is very close to psychological abuse. It's messed up. Or is it this way around? Are the people on the right being subjected to psychological abuse, which is radicalizing them? Or are people on both sides of the political spectrum being subjected to psychological abuse online? Not just the rhetoric, but the media content that people are being subjected to online. I believe that to some degree, maybe even a great degree these days, maybe even a great degree, people are being subjected to psychological manipulation online. Anyway, hang on. I just need to vet this call before we bring this person on. Our first caller of the night, maybe. Hang on just a sec. I'll be right back.
Maverick News. Fighting for freedom.
Okay, first caller of the night. It is Dragon. Go ahead, sir. What's up?
Well, what's up, Dragons and all Mavericks of the world? How are you tonight?
We're doing pretty well here. You want to comment?
right.
You want to comment on the weirdest story in history? The dog and cat eating story?
Yeah, well, I got a take about the Kamala weird comment, actually, that goes around with the cat thing. She calls Trumpers basically weird people. Does it make you feel like what happened with the French when we had the low people and the bourgeoisie, right?
Mm-hmm.
It resonates as bourgeoisie to me. It's, yeah, that's the way I feel about it. What do you think about that?
I see an element of that. Yeah, the oppressed versus the oppressor. I said when I watched the DNC, the convention, right, where she was acclaimed as the nominee, that the issues that they were going to frame, that they started to frame the whole campaign with, were social issues. And everything funnels into the social issues, even the economy. It's all about, for them, exactly that, the oppressed versus the oppressor. It's racism is at the heart of their campaign. That's why it's like, we're not going back, not going back. That's because that's a powerful campaign slogan, because it says we're not going back. Trump is saying make America great again, which is an indication that he wants to go back to a time when America was great. They're on the Harris side, they're saying we're not going back because we're going forward because we don't like the way society was before and at any point in history. And that's all because of racial, social justice issues, all of those kinds of things, which then, excuse me, plays into the progressive, left-wing, more of the left-wing narrative, right? Even if you're like a conservative or a progressive conservative or a liberal, it goes to the left from there. It is social issues. That's what the whole Harris campaign, Harris Walz campaign, is predicated on. And then this stuff with the dog eating, it plays right into that. If you think it's just about dog eating, no, this is about racism as it relates to the immigration issue. That's what the dog and cat eating thing is about.
Yep. That's the way I feel, and I kind of just realized that earlier today with what she just said about Kamala Harris and her comment about the weird slogan that she used. It's like the slur without being a slur, you know? It's like between the gray line of the slurs kind of thing. Just to look good.
Yeah, it's a way for her to see. This was a way for her to point at Trump and call him a racist without actually calling him a racist. See?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's over there saying that this is a real issue, and it's a way for him to highlight the immigration issue in a real, I would say, an exaggerated way. Because I don't think, my personal view on this is, there's no way that is a rampant, full-blown, major problem in Springfield, Ohio. Not the dog and the cat eating thing. Like, maybe there was an incident, maybe 2, maybe even 3. But I want to see stats, like, before I'm going to sit here and believe that it is, a rampant issue. Now, what did we just see here in Canada, though, with regard to the beach, right? We saw all the allegations of defecation on the beach, involving, I can't remember, a certain group of people, a certain demographic, right, from a particular country. I can't remember which country now. Now, was it?
I think it was India.
Yeah, it could be India. So that was the allegation, and it turned out that that's actually true. It's an issue, and the municipality there has actually had to put up signs on the beach dealing with that because it's a cultural thing, I guess. I don't know. When people told me initially, I was like, "What?" And then I looked, and yeah, it's true. Like it's an actual true thing. But then that's used, right, to get people upset, and then is it racist to focus on that issue? Now we're into a delicate area of discussion. And the same thing with this.
Yeah.
So it's being used by both sides for their own purposes. Yeah, Deborah says it was Wasaga Beach in Ontario. And if you don't believe me, folks, you can look it up. Real issue, really happening, but used by both sides exactly like this. Just goes down that road. So what do you think, Dragon?
Yeah, well, I don't think it's related to racism. Depends on the way that you approach the subject. I think that everyone can have a open mind around that without jumping to certain conclusion. But the thing is, yeah, it's not the way that Canadians do things. We don't defect on our beaches, so yeah, we do respect other people's culture when we do visit other countries. So we would probably like other people that come to visit us do the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
And on the Springfield case, actually, I think, and I will kind of confirm 99.9% that the Springfield of The Simpsons are actually in Ohio. So, you know that lady that always have cats around and just talk gibberish?
Yeah.
It's weird, but the black woman who supposedly has aided the cat makes me think of the cat lady in The Simpsons for some reason. Yeah.
See, I never really watched The Simpsons much, so I'm not sure. Does the woman look like the cat lady in The Simpsons? Or just
if you type the cat lady on Google from The Simpsons, you're gonna have that image of a lady. She has like 10 cats on her all the time, and she talks like blah, 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 basically a little bit like Devil of Tasmania kind of thing. She doesn't speak really kind of intelligibly.
Here, I'll show you the Google search results on that. It's just too much. It's too much, man. It's just Simpson's crazy
Actually,
cat
it's not
lady
true.
greeting card.
Yeah, the crazy cat lady.
Here we go. Okay.
Actually, she does speak sometime, but it's rare. She's always kind of talk gibberish most of the time.
Have you ever known an actual cat lady? Ever meet one?
Actually, yeah. She didn't have like 10 cat on her at all time, but she has a lot of cat at home, so yeah.
Wow. I'll tell you a story about a crazy cat lady that it just seems appropriate. When I was in journalism school, this would be back in the 1980s, in my hometown of London, Ontario, there was a perennial mayoral candidate. Her name was Agnes Cowan Shaw. And she, when I say perennial mayoral candidate, she would run for mayor every election. And she was certifiably, in my opinion, crazy. I'm sure that she has passed on some years ago now. But I was what they called the public affairs director at the student radio station. And we were covering the municipal election that year. So it was my job to assign special assignments to the student reporters for the election. And that was to go and interview all the candidates who were running in the municipal election. And I couldn't bring it upon I just couldn't send someone to her home because I knew she was crazy, right? So I said, I'll do that one myself. I won't subject anybody to that. I'm going to do it for myself. So I went to Agnes Cowan Shaw's home. And her whole platform was that she wanted to build a spaceport, right? So that the flying saucers could land in my hometown. And she wanted to use municipal money to build a spaceport, a big landing platform for UFOs. And I'm sure that a lot of people can relate to that, who are in our viewing circle, right? and beyond. So I went to her home, and I get there, and Agnes Cowan Shaw was also a crazy cat lady. And I went into her home, and immediately my eyes started to water because she just had so many cats. The house was full of cats, and they peed everywhere. And all I could smell was cat urine. It was, I can still smell it now, all these years later. It made me nauseous. So I did go in, tried to be respectful. I did the interview, and we talked about the spaceport. I was trying to not suffocate from the ammonia in the air from all the cat urine and all the carpets, and it was just and the house was full of cats. And and then during the course of the conversation, she also informed me, and this is a woman who was she was in her senior years, I'll put it that way, at the time. That's why I'm certain she's probably passed on by now because of her age. Anyway, she informs me that she's also a sex therapist. And then she starts to, make comments like maybe I could use a little therapy while I'm there. And I'm like, No, no, thank you. No. So I'm interviewing this. And this is all on. I'm recording this whole thing. It was for radio, so it was just audio. But I've got the whole thing. She's talking about her sex therapy and how she's qualified, and then she's and right on. Like I'm recording the whole conversation, and she's offering to provide services while I'm there. Oh, thanks, but no, I don't think so. I appreciate the compliment, but no, or at least the offer for free sexual therapy services. No, but yeah, this is a true story, and I brought I brought I brought the audio back, and I did turn it into a report. I edited out all the sex therapy stuff though. Oh my God, but it was just the cats. It was just the cats. Oh my God, it was just the odoriferous horror of it all. It was just let me just say that for a young journalism student like myself at the time, it was a learning experience. Yeah.
Sorry. That makes my night, man. Funny story, bro.
So yeah, now when I hear people talking about UFOs and and I see all this stuff going on, I'm like, yeah, this is like deja vu, but in a bigger way.
So this lady was on your top 5 kind of weird, awkward moment.
Yeah, but unforgettable. Agnes Cowan Shaw, mayoral candidate, London, Ontario, Canada. One of my very first assignments as a budding cub reporter. Oh, the things you have to put up with. People think that being in media is such a glamorous job. Not. Okay? No, not really. I can tell you so many stories. That's just the underbelly of the iceberg is what that is. Oh, man. Live. I'll tell you.
I will tell you, okay, guys, by my own experience on the field, as you've seen, getting blocked into some human blocks or kind of rules block in front of you that cannot provide what you want to provide to your listener. It's a kind of a slap in the face sometimes. So, but you know what? Never give up and just get into the thing. Sometimes you're just gonna get the finger on the money.
Yeah. Well, listen, sir, we're going to move on. I think that Choosy wants to call in and explain what this whole thing with which Pope, the 14th?
If I may,
whatever.
I got just one real quick thing to say.
Yeah, what's up?
You first on the recommended videos on Rumble tonight, sir. So
really?
Something that sometimes I scroll around to see if you're in the down list or in the lower list, and you're never appearing on the recommended videos on my Rumble. So congratulations, sir, because you are trespassing the algorithm of Rumble.
Not trespassing, surpassing. I don't want to get thrown in jail for trespass.
Well, you're playing the big league now.
Oh well, maybe. I don't know. That's a switch. Yeah, maybe we're finally breaking through on the Rumble algorithm. So, folks, if you're over there, make sure you hit the big thumbs up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I will have to speak to you out of the show or the program about that little thing that you have done with the Eat Dogs song. I want to know how you do that, and I need to talk to you about that.
Sorry, I was distracted there for a moment. You want to talk to me about what?
About your production. That little song that you made about Trump and
Oh, yeah, I can tell you how to do that.
Thing.
Yeah, I can tell you how to do
Yeah,
that.
I got some question, and I want to try to adapt myself into that probably. So.
Sure. Yeah. It's
all right.
Happy to share that with you. We'll do that off the air though. Thank you, Dragon, for calling in.
Pleasure. Have a good night,
Okay.
Maverick.
See ya.
And
Bye.
Rick, take care.
See ya. Bye. Agnes Cowan Shaw. Spaceport. Spaceport. It's true. Well, the spaceport. And they never built the spaceport. There is a town in Canada, though, that does have a spaceport. It did actually happen somewhere else. We'll get into that another night, maybe. Yeah. And Choosy, I put the number up there. I saw that you were in the chat saying if I put the number up and give you the number, you'll call in and explain that thing about the Pope. So there's the number, 519-401-1373. I'm interested. I want to know more. And I know that sometimes, see, the thing about Choosy is Choosy's much smarter than people might think. Because it's just that sometimes he talks about things that people haven't heard of or that they don't understand. But when you look at what he talks about, then it makes sense. I bet you this is him now, maybe. Is that you, sir?
It is.
Excellent. Okay, so you're on the air. How are you tonight?
All right, sir. How are you?
I'm just fine. Great to hear from you. Thanks for calling in.
The question was about Pope Clement 14th, right?
Yeah. So explain where you were going with that. Just tell us what's on your mind with that.
Pope Clement 14th is famous for suppressing Jesuit order in 1773. He called it heinous political monopoly, and he attempted to abolish the Jesuit order completely. However, he based his own demise from suspicious health issues and failed to expel the Jesuits from England, America, China, or Russia. And to those four nations, a lot of the exiles fled. So that's 1773, Rick. That sets the backdrop for what happened in America with our phony baloney Roman hoax Revolutionary War. Was an unnecessary sacrificial ritual that only reinstalled Jesuit order behind redundant political fail-safe and smoke and mirrors. It's hidden history, Rick. Pope Clement XIV is like a forever stamp hero. And that's why I'm saying if you decide to go that way with merchandise, you're ahead of the curve. I'm going to see to it that everybody else understands that we have a hero that we can latch on to. It's better than anything around that, ask these politicians to compare themselves to that man. Imagine him expelling the Jesuits from 80 nations. And we weren't taught about that, Rick.
No, we weren't. I'm not aware. I am going to research that tonight maybe tomorrow, because we're going to do the movie thing tonight after. But I'm going to look into that certainly before the next program.
Yeah. Oh, and the other thing is his birthday is on October 31st. How cool is that?
Halloween?
And yeah, Halloween. And what they're doing is they're defiling his birthday because they don't do anything by coincidence, Rick. They really don't. I wouldn't be surprised if that's intentional, because they like to suck the wind out of recognizing anything that's worth remembering.
When you say they, who are you referring to?
I'm referring to the Jesuit order and the Knights of Malta, inducted within nations and being guided by the fictitious landless nation of Rome, as they describe it themselves, which has no loyalty to any actual earthly nation, only toxic nationalism. And then there's Rome itself, the Vatican Corporation, the Holy See, which is the center of all of the Knights of Malta founded intelligence. Okay? So when they say intelligence failure, I'm not buying it because they schedule everything. So they worship their numerology. Remember that the very definition of Jesuitism is lying with math. If you look the word up in the dictionary, you have to scroll down. It's in my dictionary, it was the number 6 definition all the way at the bottom. Under all the fluff, it's lying for unethical means and ends with the use of math to attempt to legitimize it.
Okay, well, I'm definitely going to look up. I'm going to educate myself on Pope Clement. Definitely going to do that.
Clement XIV, and the reason it's so relevant is that we have the first and only openly Jesuit papacy in history, which is so ironic, given that Pope Clement did that. And now the Vatican, all right, you're asking who they are, and I didn't quite finish the description.
I'm sorry.
We got stuck in Rome. It's the Vatican royal family bloodlines above Rome, is also known as the Society of Jesus. And those are the, if you look up Vatican royal family bloodlines, there's subsets, the remnants of Bavarian Illuminati, the Rosicrucians, the papal nobility, and the black nobility. And each of those subsets have actual family names.
Okay.
And those are the people that are privately invested in the world central banking system since the end of World War II, which is what they wanted, Rick. That's what the whole manipulation of the world wars was about, getting that world central banking system. And at the same time, they were doing Operation Paperclip while pretending that they had ended fascism while they were spreading it. So that's who, to answer your question.
Why do I worry though, Choosy, when you're saying these things, that this takes us down into an anti-Semitic rabbit hole?
An anti-Semitic rabbit hole?
I'm because before I don't mean to level an accusation. It's just that when I'm listening to this, I hear people who are clearly bigoted, and I'm not you, because I've heard you talk about nothing but peace and love. Okay. But I hear people using this same kind of narrative or language, the descriptions, pieces of the history that you're offering up here, to take people down a very dark road. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I absolutely do. That's the smokescreen cover that they've been blowing since the time of, Rothschild, who was a brilliant Vatican accountant, but he got forced into usury. And then Ignatius Loyola himself, who was arrested, he was a Jew, and he was arrested under Inquisition at the time of Martin Luther, the Reformation, and he crawled into audience with the Pope on his hands and knees crying, and then walked out upright with a papal bull to start the Jesuit order, which was basically the Dominican order renamed. And they forced him into their own Inquisition bidding. And Ignatius Loyola tried to warn us, I think. He didn't like what happened to him, but he didn't want to die. He'd already messed up his leg in a cannonball accident or something. And, he was just doing what he had to do to live at that point. So they, constructed this ridiculous, vile Jesuit blood oath, and then they made the stupid IHS placard, which is basically an anus disguised to be the sun, but it has all the English characters in the center to spell the word shit. And so he like gave us all kinds of signals to say, look, these people are assholes, and but they all thought it was funny at the time. Apparently, they all had a good laugh about it. It's documented. Ace historians of Jesuits know this stuff. But that explains how they've run off with the anti-Semitic trope. It's a smokescreen for inducted, corrupted Rome itself. And inducted, corrupted Rome is not Catholic. They claim to be, just like they claim that fascism was defeated. If you look at Google, but if you ask Google, wait a minute, I got myself flustered. We're talking about. Dang it, Rick, I have a brain fart. Where was I going?
I'm not sure.
See, this is,
well, you were talking about, using anti-Semitism as a kind of a smokescreen, or using the story as a smokescreen for anti-Semitism.
Yeah, that's worked for them for centuries. It's the oldest trick in the Jesuits' book. And people lap that stuff up, but it's just Roman virtue signaling at the end of the day, whether people know that they're doing it or not. I think most of it at this point is coming from actual Roman commissioned people that are paid to be stubborn idiots. And those are the only type of people that I'm running into in the chats. Everywhere I go now, Rick, innocent people are bonkers about peaceful revolution Olympics. They understand why. And I'm not the only one in the world holding a completed therapeutic thinking soap note with the plan. And I could almost disengage from YouTube, but I'm not ready yet until we're rescued. Might as well see it through. And each day I can tell that, great economist Richard Wolff, awarded author, he sounds more like me this week than he did the last week, and so forth. I keep running into these really famous people in accessible chats.
I gotta say, I'm not a fan of Mr. Wolf at all. Don't like him.
Neither am I, Rick, but when they start saying the right things, then that's when I'll forgive them. His wife is apparently a psychologist, and remember that if it wasn't for the wives of the military officers in Portugal putting their feet down and saying enough is enough, the procrastination would have never ended in peaceful revolution like that. Something happened with Jimmy Dore. He was in Dr. Drew's chat the other day, and there was only like 400 people, and I know Jimmy was reading that chat because it was serious stuff with Dr. Drew. He's not playing around. And, I've forgiven Jimmy, understand the pressure he was in and how he was manipulated. And even the worst of the worst, Rick, they are victims of brainwashing. They've been brainwashed since age 3.
What are you forgiving Jimmy Dore for?
For blocking me 6 years ago for talking about the Jesuits and trying to connect the dots to peaceful revolution when we needed it. And I don't know of anybody else that actually complains about being blocked from Jimmy Dore. He's got 6 million subscribers. But they did that to me in ritualistic fashion. Choosy, you got to stop talking about the Jesuits. I had a different name back then. It was Grateful Heretic or something like that. And they were like, you got to stop talking about the Jesuits. And I was like, you all need to do your homework. And they were like, no, you got to go. And they blocked me. But it was like a big debate first between me and the moderators in a public way. In the chat, they made a decision. But Jimmy, he's under contractual obligations, obviously. They're not allowed to talk about the Jesuits or the Knights of Malta or peaceful revolution solution. That's kryptonite for them. And they know it. And they know the family unit's a strong cohesive family unit that's functional and communicates is kryptonite for them. That's why they're doing their best to make everybody weird.
Well, weird is the word of the day and the word of the campaign.
I keep on joking around down here. I was like, we can say wacko because we're south of the border.
Yeah. Isn't it the strangest election campaigns, strangest political climate ever? In Canada, we've seen Pierre Poilievre on the conservative side use wacko as a word to go after Trudeau, and now you're seeing Harris use the word weird to go after Trump.
Right, and 81st Grand Master of Order of Malta, that's a global title, is a Canadian man, John Dunlap. And he's the wacko above Trudeau and above a lot of them. All right? He's an immigration lawyer. Whenever I hear the word immigration and people are complaining, his face comes straight to mind. He's very weird. And in fact, if you could pull up his YouTube video, I don't know if that's copyright infringement. I don't see why it would be for us to watch a 2.5-minute video showing that guy, John Dunlap. He is really weird, and watch to the end because he giggles maniacally and then he glares at the camera real creepy. Did you watch that yet?
No, I haven't. I don't think so. I'll look for that too.
Yeah, please, Rick, at least look at it and consider whether you want to show that to your flock. But I think it's worth everybody understanding. And what they're doing with the immigration fiasco is they're shuffling the deck on the Inquisition. We can't let them do that. We can't. And we can't let the Knights of Malta scoot out of countries with their ill-gotten gains. They need to be processed properly in their home inducted countries and lose their ill-gotten gains. And we're going to divide them up, and you're going to get that flying car like I promised.
Okay. All right. You've given me a lot to look into here tonight. So I, as always, I appreciate your call. And all I can say is, you anybody that's just, I just appreciate it because it challenges me to look into history that goes back a long way, and it forces me to educate myself further. So for that, I'm grateful.
Yeah. Pope Clement XIV, he's our hero. And we have living women heroes. We have the actual women heroes of Carnation Revolution. We have the living captains of April who actually rounded up the fascists and put them in prison and exile accordingly. And the Carnation Lady herself, Celeste, is 91 and still alive. We have actual heroes. Let's acknowledge them. And it's you and me, brother. I love you and yours. Have a good night.
Thank you, Choosy. I'll let you know how it goes after I dig into it. All right.
All right. I'll be waiting in the chat.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Take care. Bye for now. There we go. Man, haven't even had time to get into. I didn't think this was going to do this. We were going to do this tonight. I had other stories to talk about, but we're sort of running out of time. I was going to talk about this story revolving around Russian RT allegations of Russian propaganda, the way that Western nations are working together to combat propaganda from other countries. We'll get into that deeper another night, I guess. The U.S. just making a statement on that today. It is an important story. What else can I tell you? What else? I'll just try and touch on this. Oh, this was actually an important story because Canada is investing, I think they've given Telesat Canada, was it $2.5 billion? See if I can find it here. I think it's $2.5 billion. Yeah, $2.5 billion to build satellites so that better internet can be provided to remote areas of the country. It's a historic move. Government with this $2.14 billion loan to Telesat, marking the country's largest space program to date. The funding will support Telesat's development of its light-speed, low Earth orbit satellite constellation designed to bring cheaper and more reliable broadband internet to remote communities across the country, including indigenous regions and areas with mining and forestry operations. I did see plans for municipal projects in northern indigenous communities in northern areas in particular, maybe about a year ago, and this was part of it. Satellite technology for the internet is something that is vital, really, in keeping those communities connected in this century, this digital era. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau made this announcement today at a satellite manufacturing facility in Quebec. The Quebec government also dumping $400 million into the project. So it is definitely a story that we will continue to follow. It's going to create 2,000 jobs across Canada, with about 1,000 of those initially in Quebec. And then Telesat also plans to invest $4.4 billion back into the Canadian economy through research and development as part of this whole grand scheme. And it is the most efficient way, really, to get internet service into remote areas. And as technology continues to improve, that technology will provide high-speed internet services. And yes, this will compete with Elon Musk's Starlink, Canadian company providing a similar kind of service. Canada ramping all of that up. What else did I have for you tonight? I was going to update that story as well about the homeless encampment in Kingston, Ontario, where 2 people were killed. Police in Kingston say a 47-year-old man has been charged with second-degree murder now and attempted murder in connection with those killings. This happening at that homeless encampment on Montreal Street. We showed you that last night for the first time, updating it for you here now. They say the accused, who is from Kingston, remains in custody. He did appear in court for arraignment this afternoon. They've also identified the victims now as 38-year-old Taylor Wilkinson and 41-year-old John Hood, both of Kingston, Ontario. And this homeless encampment set up near a safe injection site. And the mayor of Kingston yesterday issuing a statement saying he wants the encampment and the safe injection site, as I understand it, he wants them shut down because of public safety. He has expressed concerns about this in the past. And this is an ongoing police investigation, still active. And we'll continue to update that as required in the days, weeks, and months ahead as well. And that also brought me back to my hometown right here, where I dug a little bit deeper into the information surrounding homeless encampments in my own community, a small town where when I moved here some, I don't know, it's got to be 25 years ago now, there was not a homeless person to be found on the streets of this community. I swear. I'm sure there were homeless people, but you never saw them, and they were few and far between, and they were able to access community services here. So you just didn't have people on the streets, but now we do. I see people begging at the strip mall just down the street from me every single day. I see another major homeless encampment in the downtown area that I will be going to in the days ahead. I went to the one and we did the report a couple of months ago. I'm going to go to this other one and we'll show you what's going on there. And I have learned now that, in fact, haven't seen them all. I don't know where they all are, but we actually have 10 homeless encampments in this community of mine, tent cities within my city. 10. I'm told that's what the word is from the municipality here. That's how bad things have become in my hometown. And it's rampant. It's across the country. Every city now reporting this problem. A clear sign of a country in distress that really needs attention. We need to do something about this. And in fact, I've also learned in the last few days, I can tell you that on Monday, our municipal council here did approve a tiny home project. They are going to build 50 tiny homes in my community. They have a parcel of land set up. I believe they're going to spend some $3 million municipally to do that. So at least here some action is being taken on the positive side to give people a roof over their heads where they can lock the door and feel secure and have dignity, and then maybe get back on a path to recovery. But there are other deeper issues that surround all of that. My concern is that this tiny home community might end up becoming a social problem in and of itself. If you don't get to the root cause of the problems, then just putting people in a shoebox and calling it a home is not really going to solve the problems. So we'll see how that goes. I'll be looking at it on a local level here and extrapolating that story into a national and even international news story, providing broader coverage and broader context as that issue continues to persist. Serious problem. Now, tonight on Maverick Midnight Matinee, what are we going to show you? Well, how about we just do a little guess? Won't drag this on too long. People seem to like to guess what the movie is going to be. I haven't posted this yet. I don't have much time to get the broadcast set up. It starts at 10 p.m. Eastern, 1 hour from now, here on the Maverick News channels. I'll give you a hint. It has something to do with nuclear warheads. So let the guessing begin. If anybody gets this right, I will send you a free Knights of Malta, Exile the Knights of Malta t-shirt to honor our friend Choosy. But you have to get the name of the movie right. It has something to do with nuclear warheads. It's a public domain movie. I'm just checking the chat. Terminator 2, nope. Bloodsport, nope. Aliens, nope. Coming over here to the Rumble chat. Anybody gonna guess? Red October, no. Okay, so I'll give you another clue. It was produced in, let me get you the right year, in the 1950s. It's a 1950s film. Team America World Police, Soylent Green, nope. Nobody getting it in the YouTube chat over here. Amjad says, I won't guess right. I'm not a movie buff. No, good guess though, Dragon. Duck and Cover, no. It's a science fiction drama from the 1950s. Friday the 13th, no. Merrick Butler on the Beach, no. Das Boot, no. Das Boot wasn't from the 1950s. You're making me feel old there, Sandy. I think, wasn't Das Boot from the 1980s, I believe? Yeah. Survival under nuclear attack. Miracle Miles. The day the Earth stood still. Nope. The Man Who Saved the World. Nope. Okay, going once, going twice, going 3 times. No, okay, contest is over. Nobody got it. No free t-shirt this week. From Here to Eternity. Yeah, no. I don't think that, no. Here, let's run the trailer. I'm going to show you the trailer. And here we go. This is what we're going to run in 1 hour on Maverick Midnight Matinee. And, well, I hope you enjoy the trailer anyway.
Run for your life! Run! Run! Run!
It's headed this way. The Lost Missile.
This thing's traveling at 4,000 miles an hour.
A Toledo.
What is it, this terror that destroys cities? You won't want to look, but you can't help it. You won't believe your eyes, but you'll never forget what they see. You won't want to stay, but you'll be glued to your seat.
That's all right, sir. Keep going. I'll catch up with you. I know where that thing came from. It's more important than my wife and baby. It's more important than the whole city. Right now, we've got to destroy it before it destroys us. You can't destroy it. It may have people in it. It's from another planet. We could make contact with them, talk to them. Think how important that would be to science, how important it would be to us. I know how important it is to us right now. I've got to stop you, Dave. I've got to...
Holy smokes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the governor of your state.
Please, listen carefully. To ensure your safety, I have declared martial law.
Run for your life!
Run for your life! Oh, there's a reason. There's a method to my madness. I chose that movie for reasons. Those reasons I will share with you later on at 10 p.m. Eastern on Maverick Midnight Matinee, where we will run the movie. We'll have our watch party. I'll explain why it's relevant today, and I think it'll be fun. And it has a great love story as well. Just a great love story that I can even relate to on some level. So make sure you come back in 1 hour and join us on Maverick Midnight Matinee. I love you guys. Thank you, Choosy, for challenging me again. Now I'm going to go and find out more about this Pope Clement, 14th. I'm going to educate myself a little bit. And peace, love, tolerance. That's the way forward, folks. Together, we'll find a way. See you in an hour on the flip side.
This has been a Maverick Multimedia production.